Hello, friends. I am Geetu Musa, and here I'm going to start a new series called The Millennial Investors. Sentiments across the globe are very gloomy. काफ़ी अनसर्टन टाइम्स हम गुजर रहे हैं इस बहुत ही मुश्किल समय से और ऐसे में अब जहां हम पहले साल के शुरुआत में ग्रोथ की बात कर रहे थे वहीं अब हम इकोनॉमी के कॉन्ट्रैक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं और ये हम भारत की बात नहीं कर रहे देश विदेश में जो है रिसेशन के फेयर्स अब फिर से उभर के आ रहे हैं और ऐसे में जब हम बात करते हैं कि इस समय चल क्या रहा है लेकिन इस समय चल रहा है शेयर बाजार इक्विटी मार्केट्स और इक्विटी मार्केट्स क्यों चल रहे हैं सबका सवाल यही है कि जब रिसेशंस की बातें की जा रही है भारत में जीडीपी कॉन्ट्रैक्शन की बातें की जा रही है जहां पे एनालिस्ट ने कहा है कि जीडीपी कॉन्ट्रैक्शन जो हमारे देश में है वो 3% से लेकर 25% के रेंज में हो सकता है डिफरेंट व्यूज है सबके लेकिन कॉन्ट्रैक्शन है और हमने देखा कि पिछले 4 महीने के लॉकडाउन में हमारी इकोनॉमी को बहुत बड़ा धक्का पहुंचा है लेकिन शेयर बाजार चल रहे हैं क्यों चल रहे हैं एक तो इजी लिक्विडिटी जो है वो वर्ल्ड ओवर है स्टिमुलस पैकेजेस देश विदेश में हमने देखा कि उनके सेंट्रल बैंक्स ने हमारे आरबीआई ने स्टिमुलस पैकेजेस को देके इकोनॉमी को रिवाइव करने की कोशिश लगातार अभी बनी हुई है और अगर हम स्टॉक मार्केट्स की बात करें तो वर्ल्ड वाइड हिस्ट्री जो स्टॉक मार्केट्स की है हिस्ट्री ऑफ क्रैशेस एंड रिकवरी रही है और अब हमारा इंडियन बाजार जो है वो कुछ डिफरेंट नहीं है अगर हम निफ्टी और सेंसेक्स की ही बात करें मार्च के लोज जो हमने बाजार में देखे थे उससे अभी तक निफ्टी और सेंसेक्स जो मेजर इंडाइसेस है हमारे देश के वो करीबन 44% रिकवर हो चुके हैं और ऐसे बाजार में रिटेल पार्टिसिपेशन काफी बहुत इंक्रीज हमने देखा कि पिछले कुछ हफ्तों में हुआ है डीमैट अकाउंट्स बहुत सारे खुले हैं रिटेल पार्टिसिपेशन इंक्रीज हो रहा है और जब ऐसा माहौल होता है जहाँ पे रिसेशनरी फेयर्स होते हैं एक नई शुरुआत होती है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होती है ट्रांजेक्शन्स होते हैं कैश मार्केट से हम डिजिटल की तरफ जा रहे हैं ऐसे में नए इन्वेस्टर्स जो है बाजार में उभर के आते हैं बहुत ही यंग लोग जो है अब बाजार में आ रहे हैं उनसे बहुत कुछ नया सीखने को हमको मिल सकता है ऐसे ही एक सीरीज में जो हमने अब शुरुआत की है हम छोटे यंग इन्वेस्टर्स जो है जब भी अभी बाजार में आए हैं जो बहुत ही अच्छा कर रहे हैं उनसे हम बातचीत करना शुरू करेंगे और आज के जो मेरे गेस्ट है वो है सौम्या मलानी जो काफी यंग इन्वेस्टर है और अगर इनके ट्विटर हैंडल पे देखा जाए तो ये बोलते हैं that my goal is to help retail investors as a friend, as a mentor and as a guide. और अब मैं स्वागत करती हूँ सौम्या मलानी का जो हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं. Hi सौम्या, how are you?
I am good, ma'am. How about you?
I am doing fine. बहुत ही uncertain times है सौम्या and it's very difficult for all of us sitting at home.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was just giving a brief कि अभी बहुत challenging times है, very challenging times for all of us. And now things are changing. And what is performing in these challenging times is equity market. बहुत सारे लोग
Right.
ये बोलते हैं equity markets perform क्यों कर रहे हैं? अब ये एक तो 2-3 चीजें जो है जो लिक्विडिटी सरप्लस है वो हमारे मार्केट्स में आ रही है साथ में हमारे जहां हम रिसेशन की बात कर रहे हैं वहीं हम इंडिया को एज अ ग्रोथ इंजन जो है आगे समय में देख सकते हैं विद ऑल दीज थिंग्स हैपनिंग विद चाइना तो ये कुछ पॉजिटिव्स है जो मार्केट में बुने जा रहे हैं आप एक यंग नए फ्रेश इन्वेस्टर मार्केट में हैं जो आप ने हाल ही में शुरुआत की है so you tell me what made you to get into stock markets how did you get interested into stock markets
So, my grandfather used to invest in stock market. So he was a businessman. But then whatever savings he used to accumulate, he used to invest all of those in stock markets. So right from childhood, I've seen all those physical copies of annual reports coming to my house, and my grandfather reading it, and then he watching, say, business channels or reading Economic Times. So it always used to fascinate as a child growing up. You always get fascinated by different things, and that screen turning red and green. So I used to ask him that, what is this? How do you really invest, and how do you think that this company will do well? So he always used to tell me to read the labels. So whatever you're buying, whatever is coming in the house, wherever you go, try and read the labels, try and see if there's a company attached to it. And so he used to give me examples using the common things that we used to use at home, say Dabur toothpaste or a Asian Paints or such things. So all these things, really fascinated me towards stock market. And then being a student of finance, coming from business family, it was a pure combination, because stock market is the place where all these things mix up. And so that is where the love affair started. And when I came from London School of Economics, I did my masters there. And when I came from there, obviously I had done a degree from one of the most renowned places in the for finance, but I had a clear cut realization that this is not enough. This is the theoretical part of it, and I am damn sure that there is something that I am missing, and I need to get hold of the practical aspect as well. So, how do you cut the learning? Just like I used to learn from my grandfather, I thought, okay, I will reach out to the bestest of investors that I know, and I wanted to work in small and mid cap area. So I used to, approach them, ask them if I could meet them. I traveled across India, wrote to most of them, and by surprise, they all actually obliged, and I got to meet them. And always, I used to bother them with a lot of questions, asking what was their story, biggest learning, how did they survive 2008, what is their approach. And one biggest learning that I got from there is that all these people had done phenomenal work in this field and made a lot of money, but their approaches were different. So somebody was holding a 5 stock portfolio, somebody was holding a 10 stock portfolio, somebody holds a 70 stock portfolio, somebody's a value investor, somebody's a growth investor. So the biggest learning that I got at that point in time is to understand yourself. There's no fixed formula to it. You need to make your own path, and that will depend with a combination of factors as to what your strengths and weaknesses are, plus more importantly, psychologically, what lets you sleep and gives you conviction. So that is how it all started. And fortunately, when I was entering the market 2012-13 period, we were at the cusp of a really good bull market. And
Right.
even the mistakes were getting rewarded, and you made money even when you made mistakes. And once you start making money, you start getting interested more and more. And so
But
yeah,
it's always the case when you start making money. Huh? If we
right,
talk about the retail investors, Soumya, they are very
yeah,
fearful, risk averse. They say that अगर मार्केट में कुछ कमाना है तो उसके लिए पैसे बहुत खूब सारे होने चाहिए. छोटे कम पैसे से कुछ नहीं होता. Even if you suggest them picking up few stocks, like you pick up an SIP, they'll say no,
mhm.
that doesn't make sense. I buy 2 Reliance. How does it make sense? I'll earn 100 rupees in 6 months or 7 months. So this mindset has to change. How do you think that this mindset is going to change?
I think the biggest reason for that, to be very honest, is lack of education, which is slowly and steadily changing because of social media and so much penetration. So people are actually becoming more and more aware. So I would say that now there are two categories of retail investors. One is educated retail, and one is core retail, who are not really focusing on education even now, in spite of having so much that is freely available. So when I entered the markets in 2012-13, we did not have such kind of shows. We did not have that many people writing blogs or being active on Twitter. So it wasn't very easy to connect to a lot of and get knowledge. But now people are posting their thoughts everywhere. There are so many great shows happening. So one of the things that I would say that it is all here. It is all in how you think and what your mindset is. So as a retail investor, when you are entering, the first focus should not be to, especially for the youngsters who are entering, should not be to make money, should be to not lose money and to learn as much as you can, because
Okay.
invariably you have a lot of time and you will make a lot of money. One of the mistakes that I saw all my friends doing, at the age of 21, 22, suppose you are doing a job or you are working in a business. So at that age, you have a very tiny bit of savings, say 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees a month or 15,000, whatever you save. So a lot of times, we feel that, okay, 10,000 bacha ke kya hoga? Let me just spend it.
Yes.
But I used to tell them that saving 10,000 now, and if you are compounding at 26% CAGR, if let us just assume saving 1 lakh after 10 years would be same, and that changed their mind. that made such a big impact. So I believe that this is changing. People are realizing more and more. And another thing, like, yes, it is a volumes game, but then for a retail investor, the focus should be that, okay, I am getting, say, a 6% on FD. Now, even if I make a 15, 18% in stock market, suppose, and that does not come in a linear way, it's tougher said than done, easier said than done, sorry. What I was trying to say is, even at 18%, your money in 10 years, a lakh will become 5.5 lakh or something like that. And in FD, it will just become 1.8. So even if I tell this to them now, they would feel that yes, he's speaking about the right things. But when they enter markets tomorrow morning, they would behave as if they want to make 100% a month. So that behavior has to change. You first need to realize that what is your goal. Your goal is to outperform the markets. Your goal is not to become a hero. Hero बनना है कि पैसा कमाना है. अगर पैसा कमाना है, so you focus on that aspect. You are not in a competition with everyone. Everyone has their own learning curve, and you have to survive. And there's a long way to go in the markets. You can make money anytime, and no opportunity is the last biggest opportunity, because generally I've seen retail investors, they miss an opportunity and then they make multiple mistakes trying to correct that mistake, and it doesn't really work like that. Ek opportunity gaya, no issues. Even in 2016 bull run, even if you had missed 2013, 14, 15 के multi-baggers, 2016 and 17 में HEG खड़ा था. So if you are learning, then you will be able to spot that. कोई बात नहीं, next आएगा. But if you are into a negative cycle of punishing yourself or thinking that okay, ये मेरे से नहीं होगा,
that mindset has to change.
Absolutely, mindset has to change.
Soumil, tell me, when you earned your first profit, how did it feel? I mean, that would have been the best time of your life. I mean, you made this much of money, and then share your experiences with us.
So I was also doing a startup at that point in time, and obviously startups are cash burning. So at one place I was burning cash. So then whatever cash I used to get from market, it used to look sweeter. And my first trade was L&T, and it was actually a trade, and I did not know a lot in depth. And you are always scared when you are taking the first trade. So it was just that I bought L&T, a few shares, and it went up, and I was so happy. I sold it, and I thought that okay, this is easy, and I could do this. And this was way back. This was not even in 2012-13. This was in 2009-10 or something like that. Before that, I had asked. This was the first trade I made. Before that, I had asked my grandfather to buy one share of Nestle for me. Because where we used to stay at that point in time.
You have kept that share, or you've sold that over?
No, we don't have it anymore. Yeah. So what happened was there used to be a lot of medical stores where we used to live, and Nestle was always there. And as a kid in the house, you are always told to go and buy medicines or ye le aao, wo le aao. So, and my grandfather used to tell me that label padho. So that is where it came from, and randomly, I did not have any logic as such. It was just a random thing that I told him to do.
So when we talk to retail investor, एक छोटा निवेशक से जब बात करते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि ऐसा क्यों होता है कि जब वो कोई भी शेयर खरीदते हैं तो वो शेयर नीचे जाता है, और जब वो नीचे जाता है तो वो घबरा जाते हैं, and they sell it off and move out, and then they wait and they say that okay, next year आएगा तो ले लेंगे. ऐसा क्यों होता है? It always happens, even if I never trade, but I have been in this business for quite long now. I have seen that whenever you try to pick up a stock, it so happens that within a minute or two, it usually comes down, and it's a market behavior. It is nothing unusual.
Okay.
But very small investors who are fresh in the market, they get hassled about it, and then they give up. Oh, नीचे चला गया, अब क्या करें? So ऐसे में, what should be the strategy of a retail investor? If he puts money, should he look at the stocks on everyday basis if he's a medium to long-term investor, or he should do an SIP, keep buying on dips even if the stock goes down, and stay put for some more time so that he reaps a good benefit after, say, 1 year or 2 years time?
So ये सबके साथ हुआ है and even whoever has come into the market somehow someday or the other they have faced this situation, especially in the initial part. So the only solution to that is to learn more and more. The biggest mistake is lack of awareness. So because for a retail investor, they feel that they have done research. If they hear something from someone, and so they'll suppose they are going to buy vegetables, they will do a lot of research even on that as to which vendor is supplying the best quality one. For even if they are buying it for 100 rupees, but here they don't do that kind of research. So that is the biggest problem that is there. And another important thing is to have your mindset that are you doing it for day trading or do you have a positional view? If you are doing it for a positional view or a medium term view, then there's no point looking at it time and again, multiple times in a day, right? And important is to know what you are buying, at least know what business does a company do. And most of the people don't even know that. So that is another area of concern. One more aspect is that people are not ready to learn. I mean, spending thousands of hours, even youngsters I see now, spending thousands of hours scrolling Twitter is not research. Just watching prices is not research. You are giving time to the market, but it is not leading you anywhere. See, my entire thought process and my learning started to happen when I went to the history. Now, if there are so many people who ping me on Twitter and tell me that, if you could just suggest a stock that we might read and learn from uh, for research purposes. But that is not the way to go. You have to go in the history to learn. You cannot learn from live stocks. If you want to learn from live stocks, that means your intention is to make money. Your intention is not to learn. You have to go back. You have to see how the multi-baggers of the past or how the wealth destroyers of the past
Have behaved.
were positioned at that point in time. You have to read the annual reports at that point in time. Another most biggest mistake that retailers do is they buy companies that are falling. और कितना गिरेगा पी रेशियो के हिसाब से तो ठीक है. नाउ पी रेशियो इवन अ फिफ्थ ग्रेडर कैन सी. पी रेशियो इज नॉट रिसर्च. एवरी फिफ्थ ग्रेडर वुड लुक एट यू टेल अ फिफ्थ ग्रेडर रिसर्च करो पी रेशियो ऐसा होता है वो भी देख के बोल देगा सस्ता है कि महंगा है. सो दैट इज नॉट रिसर्च. बड़े इन्वेस्टर ने लिया है. नाउ बड़े इन्वेस्टर ने लिया है दैट इज फाइन बट देन बड़ा इन्वेस्टर क्या सोच के ले रहा है यू डोंट नो दैट. वो
Right.
20 साल के लिए ले रहा है आप 20 मिनट के लिए ले रहे हो. सो वो
Very
मैच
true.
नहीं करेगा. वो अपने पोर्टफोलियो का 0.2% ले रहा हो आप अपने पोर्टफोलियो का 20% डाल रहे हो. इट माइट जस्ट बी अ पंट फॉर हिम. सो
Right.
another few points are they would think that okay one another point is इस स्टॉक में पहले भी पैसा बना है. दैट डजंट मीन बनेगा वापस. You have to kind of take these things out of your mind and go back in the history, do the back testing. Whether you are fundamental guy or technical guy, you have to learn from the history, or else there is no way.
So I
Right.
remember when Yes Bank fell from higher levels to 60, 70, people used to say that, okay, we need to buy it now. The valuations are very good. No, bank is not going to shut down. Government is going to save the banks. And that happened. I mean, I am not
Right.
denying that government did not save that bank. But now the stock
Mhm.
price is around say 15, 16, 17, 18 rupees. People bought at 60 saying that, oh, no, it will go back to 200, 300 rupees, right? And then
Right.
it kept on falling. It kept on falling, and retail investors just got caught into it. And now the stock is trading around 16. So valuations को लेके आप क्या बोलेंगे? What are valuations? How do a small investor who does not have an access to too much of information and does not have a finance background, how does he understand what valuation is all about?
See, one of the trick, I'll give you one simple trick that has helped me the most, and I do it for all my investments, mostly 90% of them. Do not buy a new low. By new low, I mean a new 52-week low or a 6-month low. And do not and look at companies hitting new highs. It is very, very tough to do. It is very tough to do because stocks, I'll come to the Yes Bank thing. I'll relate it to the point because the stock seems very expensive at 52-week high. It will feel as if it has already moved 40-50%. Now you have to think that if stock is coming down, is it because is it because a retail investor is selling or somebody informed is selling? right? Who drives those kind of volumes that a stock comes down from 400 to 60 rupees,
Right.
right? So if you think like that, then you will not feel that it is cheap. Again, the question comes to hero बनना है कि पैसा बनाना है. You can be right once in catching a bottom of the stock and making money, but I personally do not like to do that because वो मेरा आदत बिगाड़ देगा. You know, once you kind of make money like that, you'll always believe that you can do it again, and it's very tough to catch the bottoms. And so say a Yes Bank, I'll give you Yes Bank ka example. So Yes Bank, when it was going up from 40 rupees to 420 rupees, it did not hit a new 52-week low at all. Every time it was hitting a new high from 40 to 420. From 420 to 26 rupees,
It happened the
20
other way
rupees,
around.
it was always hitting a new low. So if you do not try to become a hero, see, if Yes Bank is so cheap, think like that. If Yes Bank is so cheap, then why aren't these biggies buying it and bidding up the prices? Another thing is, people feel that when the stock is going up, say suppose the stock goes up from 20 to 40 rupees, they feel that the risk is 20 rupees. Suppose a stock comes down from 400 to 40 rupees, they feel that इसमें कोई risk ही नहीं है, and it is exactly the opposite. और कितना गिरेगा? Now, if you are buying at 40 rupees, your capital is 40, right? If it becomes half, your capital is half.
Right.
These simple things people don't understand, and that is why there is mistake. And I don't even blame them for it. There is lack of education in the market. These simple things, if we can understand, then most of the decisions that we are taking, which are really making us believe that market is probably a gambling place, that thought process will change.
See, Soumya, actually, there are too many things that retail investor also gets attracted to. We have common these SMSs coming on every phone. Buy this, it is going to go up by 70%, 80%, 90%. So retail investors जो होते हैं जिनका background कुछ नहीं है, जिनको नहीं पता ज़्यादा शेयर बाजार के बारे में, लेकिन शेयर बाजार में आना चाहते हैं और ऐसी मैसेजेस से गुमराह हो जाते हैं. They just pick up the stock and then they lose, and then they sit for a month or two. They have some more money, they get back into those stocks and then lose and then sit. See, the problem is that even if the system has to be put in place where these guys really understand what the basics of the stock market is. ऐसा कोई program हमारे देश में है नहीं जो एक छोटे निवेशक को educate करता है. I mean, there are too many programs which are going around, but not a program which really caters to these small guys who really want to get into the markets. एक तो awareness की बात हुई. दूसरा, what about these daily calls that would they keep on receiving on the mobiles? Should they entertain them, or should they clearly say no to these calls?
Absolutely not. Two points on that. Firstly, if the guy who's sending the message, he was so sure about it, just think like that.
He would have made
then
money.
why doesn't he leverage his house and put the money there? So it's all game of probabilities. That realization is important, and especially what is his what is his interest in sending you the message, right? So that we have to think. Second, that माइंड में ये सोचना जरूरी है फॉर अ फ्यू पॉइंट्स, मुझे ऐसा पैसा चाहिए ही नहीं,
right,
for a lot of situations in market. So suppose randomly, even if your broker calls and says ये स्टॉक ले लीजिए भाग जाएगा, ऐसा हो जाएगा, वैसा हो जाएगा, काम डाउन, थिंक, मुझे ऐसा पैसा चाहिए ही नहीं, मैं पढ़ूंगा, दूंगा, मिस हो जाएगा, उसमें टाइम लगेगा, कोई बात नहीं, मैं दूसरा स्टॉक लूंगा. तो दो, वी नीड 1 or 2 minutes to think that what are we trying to do. It is our hard-earned money, and again it comes to the same point that no opportunity is the last best opportunity on earth. Another important point is why to even buy something that you don't understand. Now, even if you open Screener, a screener.in, or you try to open BSC website and you see the results of these companies, the messages of which you are getting, you will see they have no sales, they have no profit. Now, क्या आज अगर मैं आपके पास एक बिजनेस लेके आता हूँ कि इसमें सेल्स नहीं है, प्रॉफिट नहीं है, आप इन्वेस्ट करोगे? क्या आप करोगे? नहीं करोगे. तो अगर इतना अपने नहीं देखते हैं तो वो लापरवाही है, अपने पैसा कैसे लगा सकते हैं. बट ये डेफिनेटली इतना सा मैसेज भी अगर उनके पास चले जाए वो लोग जरूर देखेंगे, आई एम डैम श्योर. बट एज यू सेड दैट ये पहुंचना जरूरी है मैसेज, बिकॉज दे विल ऑल्सो रेजोनेट की बात तो सही है, वी हैव टू डू दिस, but this message has to go, and they sometimes do not go because of some vested interest as well.
SEBI has come down on all these guys, no hard on them, but let's see how it works.
Right.
Okay, Soumya, 3 things that you watch in a company before investing. I mean, if you have to pick up a stock, say that, okay, I want to buy XYZ stock, 3 things that you will look into.
So for me, the most important thing is the scale of opportunity. So I want to see that the company can grow a lot. I am a growth investor. I do not really believe in value. I want company to grow. So I would like to see what is the kind of opportunity that it caters to, and can it grow big in that. Second is the management, because you don't want to partner with someone who's a cheat. So no matter how good the scenario is, no matter how much tailwinds or favorable times are there for the company, if the management is not good and the management is siphoning off funds, or they do not have the execution capabilities, in spite of getting orders and all, you will not make money. So how do you judge the management is a question I keep getting a lot of times. So again, you have to go to the history. You go to the history, you see whatever they have said, have they been able to do it. uh, Try and understand from annual reports what kind of salaries are they taking. Do a Google about them. Okay, take the name of the particular person or people on the board of the company and search with keywords such as fraud, SEBI, etc. You will know if there is something that is wrong with them. Try and look at their Facebook, etc. You'll know if they what kind of lifestyle they are living. It's a very soft point, but then it always helps. And so these are the important points. And then again, have they delivered whatever they have spoken about? So great managements would always under promise and over deliver. So that is one aspect. The third most important point for me is scuttlebutt. So I try to find dealers, distributors, suppliers, if possible, for a particular company, and try to know what is happening at the ground reality. It's complicated. Initially, it will be tough to do. So sometimes I've also called them as a student, because a lot of times, when you approach a dealer saying that, how's the product, how's the response, he'll always say that it's good. So if you say that, okay, I'm doing a project, I'm from this particular college, sometimes they entertain you more and they give you little better inputs. If you can connect with them, it's a gold standard input. There are also websites where employees rate their employers anonymously. You can read that to know about the culture of the organization. So these are the 3 most important points, apart from the business that we are investing in. If I don't understand the business, what they are doing, then it's no point investing, because whenever there's a negative tick, even of 3-4%, that will make you nervous and you will sell it, no matter how great the company is. So these are the most important point. And on top of that, the company has to be hitting a new high, be it a 6-month high, be it a 9-month high. I don't want to be first one to getting into the party. I want the party to start, and then I want to enter. So how does this new high help me? So I have been very bullish on agriculture sector for a while now. Luckily, I caught it, and I've been tweeting about it also multiple times. So what happened? You would see that all these companies, they started making highs before everyone else, right? After the fall, and be it a 3-month high, 6-month high, depending on the market. So that shows that big investors, informed people, insiders, people who are smarter than us, are actually buying into them. And then it's not the end of the research. It's not that you just jump in and buy. That is where the research starts. You put in all the hard work, where you know that you can get rewards, rather than being smart, over smart, and trying to buy the stocks which are hitting new bottoms, because there is always a reason for that as well. So these are the few points that I really do not compromise.
Talking about the current market, I mean, Nifty is up 43% from the March lows. Sensex is also around 43-44% up. So which are the sectors that you're bullish on now? Agriculture is one of them that you spoke about. Any other sectors that you think are going to outperform the bottom markets in time to come?
So I So my entire thesis now is that we should focus on companies which are not affected by COVID. See, if someone tells us that okay, at 7511 they knew that market would come to nearly 11,000, anyone who says that is lying. Nobody can
Yes.
really predict. Nobody knew that. So how do you protect yourself in such times? Tomorrow, I don't know what will happen. Now, I could be people could be bold and say that okay, market is going for all-time high. But to be very honest, nobody really knows that. Tomorrow, in these uncertain times, unprecedented times, tomorrow there could be some other news, a big negative one, and we could be headed for a setback. So how do you protect yourself? How do you sleep peacefully? You don't have to look at Dow every day. So what do you do is basically focus on the sectors which are not affected by COVID. That is what I have been doing. Probably beneficiaries of COVID, companies where permanent balance sheet damage is not there. How will that happen if their order book is permanently not impacted? Okay, if their orders are moved from one quarter to another due to execution issues, that's fine. But then permanently damage of business is something that they are not suffering. So if I look at an agriculture or telecom, agriculture data has been very positive. If you look at tractors are selling. So in an agricultural chain, tractor is probably the most expensive item. So if
Right.
that is selling like hotcakes,
Hmm.
then you cannot be bearish on that sector, right? And even area under cultivation is much higher. Monsoon is great.
Monsoon
So
is good.
agriculture is one sector, yeah, and nobody has really looked at agriculture in the history as stocks which have made money, compounded money, or even given multi-bagger returns. So I feel this is one sector which has never really performed
Hmm.
in terms of continuity. So that is why I'm bullish on that. Another one is pharma, definitely because of whatever situation we are in. Healthcare budget should go through the roof after this. Telecom and chemicals, because again the China issue, which is for real.
Hmm.
So people are actually giving more orders to Indian companies and Indian suppliers because they do not want to be dependent on only one country. That is one change we'll see. So these are the few areas that I'm really focusing on. Insurance is also another sector which looks really interesting because again the it is something I don't feel will be impacted by COVID. So I feel we can be in these sectors and probably even if market takes a nosedive, I think they would be the first ones to recover because if the earnings are there, you will get the prices back. That's what I
Any
feel.
any stocks you would like to name?
So firstly, I'll just give a disclaimer because that's important. So I might own the stocks and these are not recommendations. Please consult your investment advisor before investing if you're investing in them. So I like one of the stocks, but my buying price is much lower. So that's a disclaimer. Mahindra APC. So that's a company which is in micro irrigation. And Jain Irrigation, one of the competitors of the company, which is the number one player, has been suffering a lot and because of debt issues and management issues. So this company is a Mahindra Group company. Mahindra is known for rural India. Our focus is on rural sector because they have been affected by at least by the COVID. And
Hmm.
this particular company is taking market share from the leader. So that is one point. Mahindra Group is there, so nobody understands rural India better than them. They have a credibility in terms of farmers. Everybody knows their name. If you look at the numbers, the return ratios, the growth, everything has been fantastic. There's a massive under penetration of these irrigation products in India, even if you compare it to Pakistan or Bangladesh. So there's a massive scope of growth, and government has also been promoting it. So there's a lot of right things that is going for the company. It's a very tiny company, and I feel it is one of the companies that has to be on the watch list. Yeah.
That's the
Uh,
only one.
there are many. So again, Bharti is one stable company that I feel. So if you look
What's
around
what's your
and
take on the what's your take on the hot stock Reliance?
yeah, so I have been damn impressed by whatever Mr. Ambani has been doing. It is actually, every one of us has now more respect because he's bringing India to the international page, and everybody is coming and investing in India and changing the landscape forever. So I think if again if somebody holds it, I feel it's something that has to be kept for a very long period of time. I would not be too much worried about the day-to-day fluctuation, because if you look at the bigger picture, I don't see personally, and I might be wrong. I see it is one of the most better placed large cap companies, and with support of the biggest companies in the world, such as Facebook, Google, technological support, Microsoft, and so on. I don't see a reason why they should not be able to do very, very well.
See,
Yes, in the
yeah,
short term,
Reliance.
yes, there's a lot of consensus on it, but then I feel it will do very well.
Any other company after Reliance, you see the same thing happening? I mean, Reliance is, more or less, the things have fallen in place,
Mhm.
and now we can see value creation for the investors. If demerger happens, Reliance Retail is listed, Reliance Jio is listed, so that will unlock value for the investors. But any other company in the same large cap bracket, do you think should perform as Reliance has performed?
Tough to say that, but I feel telecom should have a really good time going forward. Yes, there is a consensus right now in terms of everybody going after Bharti Airtel, but I feel it is one of the stocks which can be held in the core portfolio. One of the reasons for that is the kind of data penetration that we are seeing. Everything that is happening around us is going to benefit these telecom stocks, right?
Mhm.
Data consumption is going is
Up.
at the highest. Sorry, people are now addicted to data. People who have never really used social media platforms are using social media platforms. Now it's a consolidated industry with only two and a half players, I would say. So that is also going to benefit these two. If you look across the world, every country has maximum 2 to 3 telecom players that survive. It
Mhm.
always gets consolidated, and most of the companies get out of business. So that has happened in India, and India has the cheapest average revenue per user. So that
Up.
has to head higher, and companies have also emphasized on it. And we see that whenever we recharge our phones, we see that we are paying higher prices. So it's pretty visible for us also to do that research.
Mhm.
So I feel these companies should do very, very well. Although there's a consensus right now, and that's why probably stock is not moving anywhere. But I feel it's a solid one to keep in your portfolio. Again, not a recommendation. Please consult your investment advisor.
Okay, let's talk about a hidden gem. I went through one of your books you had written 2 years, 3 years back, and
Yeah.
very, very good stories in that book. Now the times have changed. Everybody knows. You have new set of companies which are emerging and which can be next multi-baggers. They're very small. They can become mid caps and large caps, say in another decade's time. So, any one you have identified?
To be very honest, I've already shared it. Mahindra EPC. I
Okay.
feel that will do very, very well because it has all the ingredients that you look out for. Brilliant management in terms of Mahindra, tailwinds in terms of sector doing very, very well. They are taking market share from market leader. That is one of the patterns that we saw in Havells and Crompton Greaves. We saw it in Amara Raja and Exide also. So these companies were taking market share from that time leaders. Uh, the growth has been phenomenal. The return ratios are amazing. There's a massive scale of opportunity that we look out for. That is also there in the company. So it has got all the great ingredients and tailwinds in terms of government also supporting what they are doing. So I feel it could not have a better time than this. Although again, I have invested at lower levels, so that's a disclaimer. But I remain bullish on that. I feel it's a dark horse.
There are lots of churning happening in the portfolios of investors with first FMCG did well, now IT is doing well. Auto, we saw some kind of 50% recovery in some of the auto stocks because of expectations that demand may pick up anytime soon, which seems to be a remote scenario as of now, but things may improve. Yeah, we're all waiting for the good thing to happen, a vaccine to come so that economy is back on track and people work for the growth prospects, but still tough times. Let's see how things pan out. Any levels for Nifty that you're targeting? No. You only target stocks.
Uh, no, I think no point complicating it because see, a lot of people, if you try to predict, somewhere it will be there in your mind and you will not be
Yeah.
able to follow the market. So if I had level of Nifty in my mind, it would not have been this much. It would have been
Mm-hmm.
much, much more and I would have been out of the markets and then I would not know what to do. So it's very important to listen to the market rather than tell what you think. So again, another point where coming to retailers, where mistake is made that suppose there was demonetization. So a lot of times we feel that we are doing research when we are talking about demonetization, and these are not topics which are related to stocks. So demonetization, अच्छा हुआ, गलत हुआ, सही किया, गलत किया, this is not research. It's not leading you anywhere. It's more
Yeah.
important to think किसको फायदा होगा किसको नहीं होगा. As an
Yeah.
investor, that is
Impact
your
analysis.
job, right?
The impact
So
analysis. Yeah.
yes, impact analysis. That is where you kind of are doing the research work. And I sleep peacefully at least because I feel I've bought stocks which are not impacted by COVID. I don't have again autos can do very well. I don't know, but I don't have autos of the world in my portfolio because there is uncertainty. If I can see growth and certainty somewhere, especially in these uncertain times, why do I want to be hero? All
Right.
these stocks, a Coromandel International or Mahindra EPC or a Dhanuka agricultural stocks or a Reliance from Telecom or Bharti, these have been hitting new highs. And why not be with the strongest rather than trying to find something that is cheap, which might look cheap, but it might not really be in terms of future prospects.
Okay. One last question, Soumya. Where do you see yourself in next 5 years?
I see myself in stock markets. I'm not going anywhere. The idea always remains to focus on the process. And I know it's a cliche and everybody says the same, but people who know me very closely know that I'm a very process oriented guy. And even say when I pick stocks, I actually have scanned each and every week, right from say 2011, 12, and seen which are the stocks hitting new highs, read them, understood the process. One of the biggest learnings which I missed sharing till now has been risk management, which 2018 taught me. Risk management, you are doing fundamental investing no matter how much convinced you are about a particular company. After a particular price, you should not be holding it. You cannot let it go to zero and hold it in the hope that it will come back. There are so many different opportunities that are there. To not have risk management, it's very tough, but read about it, understand. If your stock falls by 20 to 30% when you enter, just exit once, think again. Don't try to be in the hope that it will recover. You can think again, you can buy the same stock again at higher price, but just exit once and think from a blank mind. That is very important because most of the times you have made a mistake. And that has happened with everyone who has been in the market, whether they accept or not. So that is something that 2018 taught me. And so I will be there in the market. I will be following the same processes that I've been. Probably the idea is always to keep improving, uh, have a surrounding of people who are like-minded so that you can learn from them. Because in stock markets, the cumulative wisdom that you have is something that takes you a long way. So your surrounding really matters. I'm fortunate to have great friends who probably work even harder than me, so we can collaborate and work on stuff. So that's the whole idea. I don't have any targets in terms of money or returns because that kind of removes you from the process. So suppose in 2020 I would have thought I want to make 30-40% returns.
Yeah.
I would not have been react to I would not have been able to react properly when
Right.
I had to cash out. And luckily due to the process I was able to cash out in a major way. Uh,
Mhm.
in February last week and March, first or second of March. That was just because of process. I had no view on Corona as such, and I did not catch the bottom. For this cash, I did deploy it at little higher levels, but I don't mind because
Okay.
people keep on talking about compounding, compounding, and compounding. What about reverse compounding? Nobody speaks about that. Nobody. So if your portfolio is 100, we talk that okay 26% CAGR से 10 साल में 10 गुना बनेगा. But अगर एक बार from 100 from 40 to say from 50 to 100, it's 100% return. But from 100 to 50 is just 50% fall, right? And to recover that, you need 100%. So if your portfolio comes from say 100 to 40, you need 150% returns to recover that.
Right.
So that is another aspect that nobody really talks about, where the major damage is made. So idea remains to keep on improving, keep learning from the mistakes, because everybody does that. Every day in the market is a new day. Whenever you feel that you have learned a lot of things, market gives you a new googly. We saw it in the terms of COVID. Nobody expected to fall like this. Nobody expected to rise like this. So only a process and back testing and going into the history, working hard would save us from the emotional and mental fluctuations and portfolio fluctuations.
Right.
So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us, sharing your all the experiences. और छोटे निवेशकों के लिए जो आपने ट्विटर पे अपने ट्विटर हैंडल पे लिखा हुआ है that you want to be the mentor for small investor, retail investor. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. Just two things before we close the program. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. I feel very, very lucky and proud to be the first one you are interviewing. That's special because, I was also sharing it with my friends and my family that, I'm the first one. That makes me feel special. The second thing is, I feel this is a great initiative because, again, if people can take away points from different listeners that would help them to understand what kind of mindset will suit them, maybe reduce some errors. It's as good as making a profit trade, reducing the loss trade. So thanks a lot for doing this.
Pleasure having you on.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.